Hi guys, I welcome you all to the channel. In this video, we will talk about how we can apply global CSS to the omniscript. So in this screen, if you are able to see it, you can see the start date, end date, all the levels. They are quite of faded in color, and the font is little on the lighter side. And even if we click on next and next, it's still same throughout the omniscript. Now after applying the CSS, we can see the screen is something like this. The background is entirely gray. For this it is white, so it is the font is little bit more bold, and uh, also the values are in dark color. And if you see here, I am not sure it is visible or not, there is a little red color asterisk in this phone number, and here you can see the asterisk is a little bit more bold and it is in green color, and as soon as I type something out, it turns out red. So this is something what we are going to achieve in this video. Okay, so for this I have a parent omniscript with me. Okay, so if you going to preview it, there is nothing, I mean there is no changes. Let it refresh once at least. So you can see this is like a normal omniscript. To apply the CSS, we can go to setup, and here in the styling options we can apply the new port style sheet or apply a style sheet for lightning. So let's assume we are going to use new port style sheet name. So for that, to apply a style sheet, you have to use static resource. I have it open, but in case you want to do let me show that to you as well. So here in the setup you can type static, and it will open the static resource for you. Once you open, you can able to create a new style sheet. So let me do one thing, global CSS underscore NDS. So this is the global omniscript CSS for NDS. Okay, and the cache control will be public, and I have to choose a file. So for that I have to create a new file here. Let me first go to my desktop. I'll go to desktop, I'll click on new, I'll click text document, I'll write global style.css. I'll remove this txt so that it will be CSS extension. I'll click OK, and now if I open with VS Code, it is completely blank. So let me upload this blank CSS file. So I'll come here, I'll upload this blank CSS, I'll click on save, I'll copy this. I think there is a mistake. Let me see. Let me click on save. Okay, it's done. Now what I can do is, let me paste the name here. I have pasted the name here. It will take some time to activate. Alright, this has been already activated. I click on done, and to launch the omniscript I will click on how to launch. It will give me an URL for the new port design system, because I am particularly applying the CSS for the new port design system. I'll go to a new tab, I'll click, and I'll enter the URL here. And if you see, it is the same plain omniscript, but if I inspect it here and I'll go to sources and I type Control P, you can see global omniscript CSS NDS is here, right? So now we can play with this NDS and we can apply the CSS style, apply the CSS here, and once we are done with it, we can upload the CSS. Now how to do it? To do it, one thing I can do, I'll go to the entire kernel, I'll click on inspect. If you see once I click on article, you see the edges are at the border. There is some age is coming at these places. Let me do it again. So here I know that for article I can apply the sources, go to here, and to be more specific, inside article I can mention that okay, this is the class. Okay, so this is the attribute. We'll pass this attribute, and what we can do is that here we will write background, and it should give us some light gray. It's not applying, but let's see. Let's try with important. Okay, I think now it's applying. But here's one thing, it's applying to this entire omniscript but not to these inputs, right? So now let me do one thing. Let me inspect any of these things. I'll go here. I can see that this is the input. Okay, so I'll write a comma, that means apply this also to input. So you can see this has been also applied to input. Now this is one thing. Now what I can do is that this is not to beautify it, just to show it the possibilities how I can do it. Now we have to make these fonts little bit bold, like I think it was here. Okay, right? So since I know, let me type something here. Okay. Since I know these are inputs, I'll try to make the fonts bold. Input, then I'll do one thing, I'll write font weight. So there is a property called font weight. I'll write 900, and I'll have to write important here. You see, as soon as I write important, it is working, right? Let me try again. Important. I think I missed the syntax here. It's done. And similarly, not for this also, you can see for this, anything I enter, it is in bold, right? But let's try the same with the levels, right? And I actually can do it, but let's, okay. So inputs, there is something called level, right? I'll do one thing, I'll apply the same things to level, right? Now the levels are also this color, but for the levels I want another thing. I want the color to be dark blue, dark cyan, let's say dark blue, and I'll write important, right? As soon as I write important, it's done, right? But let's do one thing, make it a little bit on the lighter side. I think this is done. Okay, now if you see, this is the phone number, right? There is nothing, no error, but let me show it to you. Let me do one thing. If you see, this is in red color, right? So what we can do it, how we can change this to green color? If you see here, as soon as I type something, it's changing to green color. So let's do that here as well. So let's inspect it. Okay, so on the top there is omniscript telephone. I'll copy it. Inside there is something like NDS form element, and inside element, where is the level? Okay, so here is the level, and here is the abbreviation. Let me do one by one. Let me go to omnistudio, omniscript telephone. Inside that I see there is a div, and div has the property of NDS form element, right? I'm skipping some of the descendants, it's perfectly fine. And inside the div NDS form elements, I'll go to level, and inside the level I'll go to abbreviation, ABBR, Now I can make the color. I will write dark green, and I will say this is also important. You see, as soon as I write important, it's green color. Let me remove it here, right? It's important. But the problem is, now as soon as I click on here, it's error, right? Here it should turn red color like it is doing here. So let's see how we can do this as well. I'll again click on inspect. I can see there is also hash error, NDS hash error, right? Notice as soon as I type something and the validation is perfectly fine, there is no validation error, the NDS hash error will be gone. So let's see. If you see, NDS hash error has been gone. So same thing we can do, except NDS form element, we can write NDS hash error, right? And here let me see, instead of dark green, can I write dark red? Dark red is not fine, something like this. Okay, all right. If you see, it's been done. Let me try with, now it's also green. So what I'll do, I'll copy this, see, and I'll reset it to origin position. I'll close this one. I'll make sure that there is no error, right? Now I can go to next and next. So it's applying everywhere, but as soon as I refresh it, it's gone, right? So for that, you have to again upload the static resource. So here I can go and I can open my global CSS again. Since I have copied my values, I'll click Ctrl V. I'll save it, right? As soon I have saved it, and I'll go to static resource. I'll come here and I'll again choose the file and will update it with my changes, right? So my changes has been there. So what I can do is that I'll inspect it. It should let me hard reload actually. Let's try if it is letting me. Still not working. I'll say empty cache and hard reload. Because of CSS and static resource, you might face cache issues sometimes. If still you are unable to make it work, you can try in incognito window as well. So okay, for me you can see it's working perfectly fine. Let me see, and I'll write something else, phone number, and it works here as well. So this is all about how you can apply a CSS to the entire omniscript. It's all about coming to this parent omniscript here, mentioning the style sheet, and in style sheet you have to mention your code. So that's all about it. Please let me know in the comments if you have any more queries. Thank you.